Hey there, superstar. In this video, I'm going to talk about how limitations can spark creativity and help you transcend. Now, it might seem super counterintuitive to think about how a limitation can help you transcend your own limitation or how it can spark creativity. But I guarantee you that these two things are very related. And by the end of this video, I'm hoping that you have a sense that your limitations may actually be a gift and a blessing to help you grow and evolve. In fact, my intention is that you understand by the end of this video that your limitations may even be the source of your superpowers. So first I want to lay out a new context within which to view limitations. This is going to be a total reframe, I think, of your whole world, if you choose to take it on the way I have. Think of it as a game. Why do we play games? Why do humans play games? We play games to challenge ourselves and to grow. So for example, let's take on the game of basketball. In the game of basketball, we create a limited area, a court, within which the players have to play, so they can't cross outside of the court. We put this little basket on either end, and you have to get this slightly smaller ball into the basket. And the basket is up high, so you can't just put something in it, you have to jump up, right? So all these limitations that we've put into the game of basketball are what make basketball fun. Imagine if there was no court, imagine if there was no basket, imagine if there was no ball that had to go into the basket, and then imagine that there were no other players trying to get in your way, right? There wouldn't be a game. It wouldn't be interesting, wouldn't be fun to watch, wouldn't be fun to play, wouldn't be challenging. And most importantly, it would not help us develop any skills. Those players wouldn't master anything if there weren't these limitations. The limitations force players to run and pivot quickly. It forces them to jump. It forces them to have accuracy. It forces them to concentrate. Think of the free throws, right? It forces them to face fears and be challenged and confronted. All of these limitations, all of these challenges, all of these obstacles serve the purpose of helping those players develop mastery, mastering speed, mastering agility, mastering jumping, right? There's all these skills that get developed. Now take that and apply it to any game in the world. Every game has rules. Every game we play it because the rules force us to master certain things. Okay, so you've got that, you understand. I know you've got that concept. So now let's take that concept and apply it to life. What if life is just a big human game? Now, I'm not going to take credit for this idea by myself, although I did add a lot to it. I really learned it or heard it the first time from a book called Busting Loose from the Money Game by an author named Robert Scheinfeld. And he talked about it in the context of money as a game, but I'm talking about it in the context of everything in life as a game. So imagine if everything in life were a game and you were put on this planet, or you chose to come to this planet, let's say, and have a life, so that you could develop certain skills and master certain things. What if life is a game to be played so that you can develop these skills? And maybe the skills are things like empowerment and compassion and love and contribution and generosity. Who knows? Whatever the things that you're here to master are. What if life has been organized as a game with certain limitations to help you master certain things, just like basketball or any other game? Now, before I get into what this actually looks like and how you can practice it, I want to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, put a comment below. What's the human game that you're here to play? I'd love to hear about that. So now let me share an example of what this looks like in real life. A year or two ago, I guess pre-COVID, so a couple years ago, I was at the National Speakers Association annual conference. And I love this event because I get to see some of the most incredible speakers in the world at their craft, like masters of their craft, and I get to witness them. And we had a speaker named Phil Hansen. And he gave a speech called Embrace the Shake. And I don't remember it perfectly, but I'll give you the broad strokes. Basically, he was an artist and he used to do this very detailed kind of art that required very fine motor skills. And he did it for years and years to the point where he basically like destroyed the nerves in his arm, and he started to shake. And he could no longer do the art the way he'd always done it. And he went to doctor after doctor, and he tried all these things. And finally, his doctor said, listen, Phil, you're just going to have to embrace the shake. And so that was a devastating moment for him, this new limitation placed in his life on his art. And so he took it on. He took on, like, how do I embrace this shake? And he started to create a new type of art, which was based on the shaking of his hand as he was painting or as he was drawing. And it developed a whole new style for him. And because it developed a whole new style, and because it unlocked a whole new potential, and because it changed his whole view of life, he started speaking about it. And now he has this presentation called Embrace the Shake. And I'm guessing he's written books, and it's basically changed his whole life. He's transcended the limitation, meaning he's moved through it and beyond it, such that it has become a part of him, and it has helped him evolve into a new person, into a new human with a new contribution for humanity. This message, embrace the shake. So how do you do that? How do you embrace that limitation and transcend it? Well, step one is you choose to do that. You make a conscious, intentional decision that you are going to do it, that you are going to embrace whatever the limitations are, because you're playing the human game, perhaps. That could be an empowering context for you to embrace your limitation. If you choose to do so, the next step is to go ahead and alchemize any residual anger, blame, frustration, resentment, any of those negative emotions that you feel around that limitation, as much as you can, right? So, it's hard to be grateful for a shaky, nerve damaged hand. I get it. And if you can come into it and just feel all the feelings of sadness, disappointment, anger, frustration, resentment, all of it, and just feel it all the way through, then chances are on the other side of that, you might be able to let it go. And that's really part 3, is letting that go. Like when those feelings have moved all the way through you, and it might take many sessions, it might take many hours, many days, many years, or it might just happen all at once, that you just let it go and you say, all right, this is my limitation. I accept it and I embrace it. And I'm choosing to move through it and transcend it. From that place, claiming faith and trust. All right, I trust. This is it. This is who I am. This is what I got. This is my life. This is the limitation. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. I'm going all the way, and I'm going to trust that this is the game that I was put on here to play. And from that place, a declaration about what is the game you're going to play. What is my contribution through this? How am I going to work with this? How am I going to play with this? What am I going to do with this? What generous contribution am I going to make from this? Am I going to paint? Am I going to write? Am I going to speak? Am I going to share? Am I going to give? Am I going to teach, mentor, guide? Whatever it is that you're going to do through this thing that you have. And finally, if you still have a little bit of residual, I'm not sure how does this work? I have one final question for you that I think could help. And that question is, and you might want to sit with this and do a little meditation around it, is what if this happened for you instead of to you? What if this limitation, what if it were a gift? And if it were a gift, why would that be? And that might take a while to answer, but I promise you that when you find an answer to that, it will be game-changing. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you're looking to work with a mentor who can help you apply these principles into your business and your life, then learn about my programs and services at superstaractivator.com/go. I look forward to meeting you.